Good morning or good lunchtime. It's Monday. Monday I can't remember
20th.
What day. 20th, is it? 20th. It's been a crazy morning work-wise. I've been on calls up until 5 minutes ago, and I got another call in 20 minutes' time. Shouldn't be this. This coronavirus is making it really, really crazy busy. Right, we are. It being a Monday. We're back in the Enchanted Wood, having had a weekend of some very good picture books from Oliver Jeffers and Tom Percival. But we're back in the Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton. And we have got the lovely Tinker with us, and Tinker is going to be doing the reading, I think, today. So I will take control of the camera, fling it round, and you say hello.
Hello.
And the next chapter is Moonface Gets Into a Fix. So that's. I think we had a quick glance of this picture when we were finishing off on Friday, but that's the artist's impression of Silky and either Beth or Franny.
I didn't know Silky had that crazy hair.
No, and I always picture her as being considerably smaller than Beth or Franny, but she's of a sort of similar sort of size, isn't she? But it's because she's got this crazy hair. Right, Moonface Gets Into a Fix. You're in the chat.
The children went over to the hens that Joe had seen. They were lovely ones, but a very peculiar colour, for their wings were pale green and the rest of their feathers were buttercup yellow. They had funny high voices and were very friendly indeed, for they came to press themselves round the children's legs like cats. "Do you suppose Mother would like the hens this colour?" asked Joe doubtfully. "I don't see why not," said Beth. "I think they're very pretty. The thing is, do they lay good eggs?" One of the hens at once laid an egg. It was large and quite an ordinary colour. Beth was pleased. "There you are," she said. "If they lay eggs as big as this one, Mother will be very pleased. How many hens are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wonder how we could take them all." "Oh, they'll follow you," said Silky, "just like my clock follows me. Tell them you want them and they'll come." "We want you to come with us, hens," said Joe at once, and the 7 green-winged birds came over to him and lined up in a row to follow the children. It was really very funny. "Well, that's our hens found," said Beth, pleased. "Now for the goat and the shovel." They wandered along looking at everything. It didn't matter what anyone wanted. They were sure to find it sooner or later. There were boats there, all kinds of dogs, shopping baskets, rings, toys, work baskets, and even such small things as thimbles. "It's the strangest land I ever saw," said Joe. "We look pretty strange too," said Franny, giggling as she looked round and saw the 7 hens and the big clock padding along behind them. "Oh, look, there's the dearest, prettiest white goat I ever saw. Do let's take her." Sure enough, not far off was a lovely white nanny goat with soft brown eyes and perky ears. She looked quite ordinary except for 2 blue spots by her tail. "Little white goat, come with us," cried Franny, and the goat trotted up at once. It took its place behind the hens, but it didn't seem to like the clock, which bumped into it every now and again, just to tease it. "Don't do that, clock," said Silky. "I hope your clock won't be a nuisance," said Beth. "I think it likes acting silly." "Now for the garden shovel," said Joe, as he suddenly saw other garden tools. "What about this one, girls? This looks strong enough for Father, doesn't it?" He took a hold of it and jabbed it into the ground. It was just a sight sort. Joe put it over his shoulder, and the 4 of them grinned happily at each other. "We've got everything we want," said Joe. "Come on. We'll go back to old Moonface, and then we'll take some cakes to eat at home." So, followed by the 7 hens, the white goat and the clock, the 4 of them made their way back to where they had left Moonface, but he wasn't sitting where they had left him. He was pulling at a lovely rug which was hanging from a tree. It was perfectly round with a hole in the middle. "Hello, hello," yelled Moonface as he saw them. "Look what I've got, just what I've always wanted for my round tree room. A round rug with a hole in the middle where the slippery slope begins. Wonderful! But Moonface, you said you'd watch to see that the land of take what you want by the faraway tree, all right, didn't you?" said Silky anxiously. "Where is the hole that leads down the tree?" "Oh, it's somewhere over there," said Moonface, draping the rug around and around him and staggering off. Come on, we're sure to find it. But they didn't. It had gone, for the land of Take What You Want had moved away from the faraway tree. Moonface! That's very bad of you, said Joe anxiously. You did promise. Moonface looked worried and pale. He hunted about for the hole, but there was no hole to be seen. He began to shake with fright. I've gotten you all into a terrible fix, he said in a trembling voice. Here we are, stuck in little land where there's everything we want, and the only thing we want is to get away. Everyone looked upset. This was just too bad. I feel cross with you, said Moonface in a stern. I feel cross with you, Moonface, said Joe in a stern voice. You said you keep guard, and you didn't. I don't think you are much of a friend. And I am ashamed of you too, Moonface, said Silky, who had tears in her eyes. We'll find someone to help us, said Moonface gloomily, and they all set off, followed by their hens, their goat, and the clock, which kept striking 4 o'clock. Nobody knew why. But now they found a very curious thing. There didn't seem to be anyone at all in the land of Take What You Want. All the gnomes, the pixies, and the elves had gone. They must have known the land was going to move off, said Moonface with a groan, and they all slipped down the ladder in time. Oh, why did I leave it? They wandered all over the land, which was not really very large, but was more crowded with things and animals than anywhere than they had ever seen. I can't think what to do, said Silky. It's true that there isn't everything here we want. We shan't starve, but it isn't the sort of place we want to live in forever. They walked here and there, and then suddenly they came to something that they hadn't noticed before. It was a large and shining aeroplane, the kind that was open-topped, so that you could see all round when you sat inside. Ooh, said Joe, his eyes gleaming. Look at that. How I wish I could fly an aeroplane. Can you fly one, Moonface? Moonface shook his head. Silky shook hers too. That's no good then, said Joe with a sigh. I thought we might fly away from this land in the aeroplane. He climbed up into the aeroplane and had a look on it. There were 5 handles there. One had a label on it that said up, another had a label that said down, a third had one said straight on, and a fourth and fifth said to the right and to the left. Joe stared at the handles in excitement. I believe I could fly this aeroplane, he said. I do believe I could. It looks quite easy. No, Joe, don't, said Beth in alarm. But Joe had pressed the handle labelled up, and before anyone could say another word, the shining aeroplane had risen upwards with Joe, leaving the others staring open mouths on the ground below. Now Joe's gone, said Franny and burst into tears. The aeroplane rose up and up. It circled round when Joe pressed the handle labelled to the right. It flew straight on when he pressed the third handle, and it flew down as he pressed the down handle. It was just as easy as that. Joe flew neatly down to the ground and landed not far away from the others. They rushed to him, shouting and laughing. Joe, did you really fly it yourself? Well, you saw me, said Joe, beaming at everyone and feeling tremendously proud. It's quite easy. Get in, everyone, and we'll fly off. Maybe we'll come to somewhere that Moonface knows if we fly long enough. They all got in. Beth packed the 7 squawking hens at the back and sat the white goat on her knee. The shovel went on the floor. The clock made a nuisance of itself because it wouldn't stay where it was put, but kept climbing over everybody's feet to look out of the window. Silky began to wish she hadn't brought it. Ready? Asked Joe, pressing the handle marked up, and up they went. What a lovely feeling it was. They really couldn't help feeling excited. Silky's clock got terribly excited too. It chimed 29 without stopping. I shan't wind you up tonight if you don't keep quiet, said Silky suddenly, and that finished the clock. It lay down in a corner and didn't say another ding or another dong. Where are we off to, I wonder, said Beth, but nobody knew.
A little insight. Off to Dame Snap's school. I thought it was Dame Slap. Maybe it's Dame Snap these days. I'm sure I remember it's Dame Slap.
This one's Snap.
Snap.
I remember this chapter.
Yes. Okay, well, good reading. Good reading. So
Yeah.
it sounds like they're not going to end up in a particularly nice place.
Sorry if at times you couldn't hear. I think there was a lot of
There was a
things
bit
going
of
on.
background sound. We
Yeah,
shall have
and
to admonish the neighbours who were playing the recorder at one point,
Yeah.
and somebody talking as they walk past,
Yeah.
which they are allowed to do. To be fair, I don't think we can really tell people
So
off
that's fine.
for talking.
These words
Okay,
are
in
thin.
which case, let's say TTFN. We'll be back in the Enchanted Wood tomorrow, and where we're going to be off to Dame Snap's school. Which,
Yeah.
as I say, I remember as Dame Slap, but what the heck? Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye from me. Bye!